Tonight, the largest union representing TTC workers is calling on the transit agency to better protect employees from violence.
You do not come to work to be assaulted. You do not come to work to be abused.
A survey finds a majority of TTC workers have faced violence and harassment on the job, but many felt uncomfortable reporting it. Plus,
I've been working as a personal support worker. I've been paying taxes.
A year after Justin Trudeau made a commitment to ensure permanent resident status for all migrant workers, workers and their advocates demand the Prime Minister follow through on his word. And
I'm trying to give my wife ideas to buy me stuff.
We're here ready to rock and ready to shop.
just 9 more days before Christmas, with many packing the malls to get their list checked off in this last shopping weekend before the big day. Good evening. I'm Kelda Yoon. The largest union representing TTC employees is calling on the transit agency to improve protections for its workers. Now, ATU Local 113 has released a survey of its members ahead of Transit Worker Assault Awareness Day tomorrow. Many of the respondents saying they experience violence and harassment on the job, but are afraid to report it. Ryan Patrick Jones has more.
On December 5th at 10:20 a.m., I parked my bus at Lakeshore.
In this video released by the union, a TTC bus driver describes being attacked while on a bathroom break.
As I was walking, somebody knocked me over from the back, reached into my pocket and took my cell phone, which I was not using. Every time I close my eyes, I imagine that. At night I'm having nightmares, and I'm so scared to go out of my bus.
In recent years, TTC workers have been beaten, stabbed, spat on, and sworn at. More than 3,100 workers responded to the union survey. 73% of them say they've experienced violence at work. 52% say they've been harassed. But only half of respondents felt comfortable reporting the violence, and even fewer reported the harassment.
There's concerns about reprisal. There's concerns about it falling upon deaf ears, that it will not be acted upon, and that's something the TTC needs to address.
The union's call for action follows a number of violent incidents on the TTC against passengers, too. Last week, 31-year-old Vanessa Kerpuska was stabbed to death on a subway train at High Park Station. And just today, Toronto police asked for help finding this man, who's wanted in connection with 2 unprovoked attacks at Kennedy Station last night.
What we want everyone to do is to take a look at the photo and let us know if they see him.
The president of ATU 113 says the TTC isn't doing enough to prevent violence on public transit.
This violence has to stop. And that's the issue, that people feel comfortable enough to bring a weapon onto a vehicle and use it. And this is what we're trying to address with the employer, with the city.
The TTC developed an action plan last year in response to an increase in attacks on employees. The agency says violent incidents against workers are down 10% from last year, and more work is underway.
We're working right now with the union on enhancing the barriers on buses, for example, because bus operators are not quite as protected as subway or streetcar operators might be. So we're working with them on things like that, as well initiatives for the Special Constables Group, additional patrols. We had additional Special Constable patrols in areas that we knew might be prone to higher assaults on employees.
Ryan Patrick Jones, CBC News, Toronto.
Toronto police are continuing to search for a 16-year-old boy more than a week after he went missing.
He was reported missing by his family, and we would like to get his photo out there. What we're also asking is if friends know where he is, just to at least let us know, let his family know, so that we can just make sure that he's safe.
Keon Henry was last seen on December 8th at 8 in the morning in the Bamber Circle and Warden area. He is 5 feet 6 inches tall, 150 pounds with a slim build. The teen was last seen wearing a black hooded jacket, a gray sweater, and blue jeans with rips. Anyone with information is asked to call Toronto Police or Crime Stoppers. As we first reported last night, Toronto City Council is backing a call for a public inquiry or third-party review of the much-delayed Eglinton Crosstown LRT. But the Local Business Improvement Association today saying it is concerned about the decision to wait until the project is finished before investigating. Municipal Affairs reporter Sean Jeffords has the details.
At Vicky's Jewelry on Eglinton Avenue, Maureen Sirwa says the push for answers about the troubled Crosstown is essential.
It's been 10 long years of dirt and dust and inaccessibility and lack of parking and workers parking where customers should be parking and infiltration into the community of people trying to reach the Allen and get to wherever they want to go. So it's an ongoing problem that does need to be addressed.
The chair of the Eglinton Way, BIA, says she's not sure why council opted to wait until the project will be completed to start the review. It's needed now.
These are mistakes that were made, and we need to address them, and we need to understand that we can do better and we can serve the businesses better. So I think the sooner the better on getting to the bottom of it.
Councillors Josh Matlow and Mike Cole brought the motion to City Council after CBC Toronto published details of confidential Metrolinx documents, which said there's no credible plan to complete the crosstown LRT.
It is just absurd. It's ridiculous for council to say we can wait till it's completed to start asking questions and demanding accountability and action.
Matlow says it's important residents get the answers they need about the project from the review because they're not getting them from other places.
Along Eglinton for over 10 years, entire business areas have been decimated. Little Jamaica has been just destroyed. Residents, communities, their lives have been impacted by dysfunctional traffic every single day.
But Mayor John Tory says it will be more effective to review the entire project when it's done.
The sensible time to look at the whole thing is, hopefully it's not going to be too much longer from now, is when it's complete. So you can look at the whole package and what happened and what happened to fix things.
The documents obtained by CBC also show the project costs have jumped by more than $1 billion to at least $12.8 billion. Work began in 2011 and Metrolinx previously announced completion dates of 2020 and 2021. In addition to City Council endorsing a probe of the project, it also backed a request for compensation for the businesses hurt by delays. Serwa says that money is needed by the businesses who are struggling to hang on.
I think there has to be direct support for the businesses, and we've learned how to do that through the pandemic with rent support and wage support, and there's ways that this can be addressed.
In a statement Friday, Metrolinx says it wants the crosstown open as soon as possible and is pushing for its completion. Sean Jeffords, CBC News, Toronto.
Mayor John Tory's new housing plan aims to get more houses built to help tackle Toronto's housing affordability crisis. Now, that also means more density in the city. The mayor even singling out one of the most important urban developments. Trevor Dunn has more on how Tory's goals could impact plans in the Portlands.
Rain, shine, or snow, work on the Portlands mega project continues. The heavy-duty job of re-engineering the Don River and protecting new neighborhoods from future floods. While there are plenty of shovels in the ground here, the work of building homes is still years away. And when that time comes to build housing, Mayor Tory wants more of it.
We've made good progress in the last 8 years on housing, but more needs to be done.
In his new housing plan, the mayor wants optimized density for the waterfront developments and specifically the Portlands. Earlier this week, council directed city staff to report back on the plan. And if the city wants more density here, project managers say the area can handle it. Although construction is a long way off, the foundational infrastructure here is nearing completion.
They've been designed with enough redundancy, and we've checked to ensure that additional density can be accommodated in the Portlands area. Sanitary, sewer, water main, electrical, all of those services and utilities are sized to be large enough to accommodate that future population.
Detailed planning for housing still hasn't been done. The land here hasn't even been parceled up to be sold to developers. But a 2017 precinct plan does lay out some targets. It calls for more than 4,800 units of housing, 20% of it affordable.
I've asked for 30%. That would mean a density increase in order to support that level of affordable.
The councillor for the area supports more density, but she wants it done the right way.
Not a big wall of condos, a barrier to the waterfront, but increase the density in ways that are tasteful, good public realm, great parks. I think we can do it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Achieving a more dense neighborhood often requires building up, but here the Portlands could be impacted by nearby Billy Bishop Airport.
There's only so high that we can go and not impact on the airlines or flight paths.
Taller buildings on the site would need to be approved by Ports Toronto. The authority tells CBC there's no specific height restriction here. Any new buildings in the Portlands will be assessed individually to make sure they don't impact airport operations. Trevor Dunn, CBC News, Toronto.
Let's go to Dahlia Ashry now with a first check on your forecast. And Dahlia, things much calmer today.
That's right, Kelda. I mean, really, if we compare it to yesterday, temperatures were a little bit more warmer even than yesterday. We were expecting snow today, but it didn't get cold enough to see that. We saw a little bit of flurries scattered here and there across the GTA. And tomorrow we get a little bit of a break. It's not until Sunday and Monday where we'll see more of that flurries. The daytime high in Toronto today, 4 degrees, so really sitting above seasonal temperatures. A little cooler out in Ottawa and Kingston, 1 degree. Now, we will be expecting a little bit of flurries on Sunday and Monday, like I mentioned, but really we're getting a little bit spoiled for tomorrow. We're getting a little bit of a break for the snow and flurries. We might see some scattered flurries in some parts nearer to Toronto, but really Sunday is where we'll see more of that flurries kicking in, and Monday as well as you commute to work. Now, tonight temperatures will drop to a low -4. We'll see winds gusting up to 20 kilometers an hour, and then quite a windy one tomorrow afternoon. We get a little bit of flurries, but again, mostly some sunshine on the way, but don't let it fool you because you'll feel with that wind chill like a high -5.
Thanks so much, Dahlia. Migrant groups are calling on Justin Trudeau to honor his word and ensure permanent residency status for all migrants. It's something the Prime Minister said he would do in a mandate letter 1 year ago. In Toronto, a rally was held today demanding the government follow through on its commitment. Dale Manukduk has the story.
What is Prime Minister Trudeau's word worth?
That is what a few dozen people gathered outside Minister Marco Mendicino's office to question. Last year, the Prime Minister committed to expand pathways to permanent residency for international students and temporary foreign workers, as well as build on programs to regularize status for undocumented workers.
If you don't have permanent resident status, whether you are on a study permit, a work permit, or you're completely undocumented, you are denied the most basic services that you need to survive. People are denied life-saving healthcare, are exploited and abused at work.
The group came together specifically to stand behind two people, Ugandan refugee and single mother Fatuma Najuma and her 3-year-old daughter, who was born in Canada, who were issued a removal order, and Abu Hena Mustafa Kamal.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Abu. Hello.
An international student facing deportation because he could not pay high tuition fees. He joined by telephone in Thunder Bay.
As migrants, we feel like we're on a leash, like we are disposable human being with an expired date.
I've been working as a personal support worker. I've been paying taxes. I'm not on financial assistance. I've been taking care of my daughter.
Status for all! Status for all! When do we want it? Now! We want it? Now!
Prime Minister Trudeau's mandate letter never came with timeframes on his commitments. In a statement to CBC News, the Ministry of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada says as we advance our work on further programs, we will continue listening to experts as well as undocumented workers themselves. However, we cannot comment on programs and policies that are in development. The IRCC says of the 406,000 foreign nationals who became permanent residents in 2021, nearly 169,000 of them transitioned from worker status. It says it will continue to explore and improve the process to permanent residency. Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
Are you done all your Christmas shopping yet? The big day is fast approaching, just 9 days left if you're counting. And it's a pretty safe bet malls will be packed this weekend. As Meg Roberts finds out, many are taking this last weekend before the holiday to get it all done.
Go! This tool shop is quickly being turned into Santa's workshop. They're getting ready for the man in red to visit Atlas Tool and Machinery this weekend.
We've been on lockdown for the last few years. We're trying to really give back, and it's for the children, for our customers, and again, for our staff and the community.
Staff is preparing for a busy weekend, the final one before Christmas, while also spreading a bit of holiday cheer, encouraging the public to come take pictures with Santa and donate to local food banks, all while picking up those last-minute gifts.
This Christmas is going to be awesome. I feel like everyone's out and about, and we're here ready to rock and ready to shop, and we're very excited to have a busy shopping season.
Down the street, Sherway Gardens is preparing for a rush of people this weekend.
We are ready. Our client is 110% ready for this.
The general manager says people are coming out in crowds they haven't seen for the past 2 years.
Compared to last year, we see a tremendous increase, not only in traffic, but in sales, in productivity, and especially in the mood of people. We look forward to this year because, you know, of the normalcy of Christmas.
With less COVID restrictions, these shoppers say this year is shaping up to be a little more merry and bright.
I'm trying to give my wife ideas to buy me stuff. Last year, you're running around before things close down, trying to do your last Christmas shopping. Now you have a little bit more time.
Are you feeling more of a Christmas cheer this year?
Definitely. Can you tell? Yeah. Yeah, and seeing family this year, which will be nice.
You just feel like that slow transition to like back to normal. And it's just like I feel comfortable again, and you feel almost like a sense of fullness. I think that's what I would say.
Meg Roberts, CBC News, Toronto.
Welcome back. A St. Catharines couple is breathing a sigh of relief tonight after UPS lost their legal documents and their down payment ahead of a move to Newfoundland. They thought their dream of building a new life out east was crushed. But as CBC's Bobby Hrstova tells us, their saga does have a happy ending, and they're hoping their experience will help others.
My whole house was in this package that they wouldn't talk to me about and had lost.
39-year-old Sherry Wynn's dream to buy a modest home in Newfoundland and Labrador became a nightmare.
Newfoundland was affordable, but we had a price point of about $60,000.
With a limited budget, she managed to find a home she could afford and put her life savings down as a deposit $14,000 bank draft.
There's 34 in the actual mortgage document.
Wynn sent the draft and legal documents to the seller via UPS, but it all went missing in transit. For a week, it couldn't be located. The home closing date passed, and Wynn was sure her money and chance to buy a home were gone with it. Repeated calls to UPS, she says, were fruitless.
I'm trying to get them to help me, and instead they just wouldn't talk.
Wynn lives with her partner, their 3 kids, and 3 pets. She also has multiple sclerosis, and moving the family east was a chance for a fresh start.
So now we're going to have to go and re-sign those.
Last week, CBC News reached out to UPS for comment. 2 hours later, Wynn said she got a call. Her deposit and documents were finally located. UPS didn't offer many details, but told CBC News the company opened an investigation, found the package, and delivered it.
I can't even imagine coming.
Wynn says anyone else buying a home in a different province should try other methods like e-transfers or delivering it yourself. Meanwhile, she's now looking forward to packing her bags and moving her family out east.
We're excited. It's good. It'll be fun times. And I can see whales.
Bobby Hrstova, CBC News, St. Catharines, Ontario.
You are looking at a live shot of the Toronto skyline, partly cloudy tonight with some flurries earlier in the evening. Currently, it is 1 degree in the city. Let's go back to Dahlia now for a more detailed look at your forecast. And Dahlia, the weekend not looking too bad. Some sunshine with just a few flurries.
That's right, Kelda. I mean, really today we got a little bit spoiled. Not what we were anticipating. We were anticipating lots of snow, up to 10 centimeters. But Mother Nature had a different plan in store. We saw milder temperatures today. Didn't get cold enough to see that snow. We saw some scattered flurries here and there across the GTA. But really, it's about tonight where we're going to see more flurries in sight as temperatures will dip and drip, really, without flurries, but dip tonight. Sunday and Monday is when we'll see more flurries as well. The daytime high in Toronto, it is 4 degrees above seasonal temperatures, hence why we didn't see any of that snow. It didn't get cold enough. Ottawa, though, a little bit colder out there. There is that snowfall warning in effect. So if you're planning on heading to that area sometime this weekend, just know that you got to drive cautiously and carefully out there because there is that snowfall warning, heavy snowfall accumulating in that area up to 20 centimeters. Now, the Colorado low came in yesterday. We saw that moving into the eastern front. Really, both of that rain and flurries and snow, which is what gave us that slushy condition last night and into today as well. Really today what we saw is the scattered flurries. Now, however, in some areas across the GTA, there's still a little bit of that rain and flurries that is anticipated overnight tonight, which we'll get to in a bit. But like I said, we saw a little bit of that snowfall accumulating mainly out in Ottawa, and it's not quite a little bit, it's quite a lot, up to 20 centimeters, and they're even expecting up to 6 centimeters more heading into Sunday. As for us here in Toronto, we're really seeing just flurries overnight tonight. That will carry through into tomorrow, just a little little bit scattered. Mainly, we're seeing a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. It's really Sunday and Monday we'll see more of that flurries. Now, we are seeing that it will be a windy one tonight. We're seeing winds gusting up to 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. Tonight, temperatures will drop to a low -4 in Toronto. Similar conditions in Mississauga and Markham, but Hamilton, St. Catharines, and Oshawa, there's still that mixture of rain and flurries. And like I said, as we head into the weekend, it's mainly going to be flurries on Sunday, feeling more like a high of -5. Monday, as you commute to work, it says high 2, but will feel more like a high of -2.
Thanks so much, Dahlia. A little holiday treat today for the kids at Holland Bloorview. Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Irv Carter making a visit to the hospital. And for him, it's a personal one.
My sister has a condition called venous malformation. So just growing up with my family and I, we've always just traveled to hospitals during Christmas time and I just tried to give back. So when I got drafted by Toronto, we were like, man, like let's just change the location to Toronto. And we came here and then we were just very, just welcomed with open arms.
The kids getting some Blue Jays swag, with Carter taking time to play some games and tell some stories about his time in Toronto. Now, this is his second visit to Holland Bloorview since being drafted by the Jays last year. And that is our show for you tonight and for the week. Thank you so much for watching. Shannon Martin has your next local newscast tomorrow at 6. I will see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.